Alright, hello everybody that on YouTube that follows me. This is a video that I'm going to be doing that's going to be out either the day that I leave Evo for Evo or before Evo. It's been like a month or something since I've actually done a video. Kind of YouTube burnout, mostly work, but I figure I'd do this since I did tell the Mixbox guys I would do this video, and I did mention that these are really noisy, and I kind of wanted to just change them out. I didn't know if there was a way to do it, and then I looked up some stuff on YouTube and found an easy way to replace these without having to solder. So for all you that own a Mixbox, this is going to be a solderless tutorial on replacing these. You can do this with any. For me, I went and I grabbed some Razor Orange keycaps, or micro, whatever these are called, cherry switches. I wanted to say micro switches, I don't know why. But yeah, I went and grabbed some of these guys, and they're the orange ones. They're kind of like browns, you can, I don't know if you can hear that in the mic, but they aren't as noisy, definitely compared to this stuff. So, I'm going to show you little previews of all the tools that you're going to need for this. And you can kind of see all of them right here. First off, you need the little cherry switches. Any ones will do. This works for any cherry switch that you have. I'll show you how to switch these out without taking the solder and having to resolder these, the ground and the hot. Keycaps, if you want to, you can use the originals if you like them. For me, I'm going for a, oh man, what's it called? It's like stone color palette, where it's like this color white, olive green, and burgundy, as well as gunmetal gray. So that's kind of the color scheme I'm going with this. I might get the artwork changed later on, but I don't have the time for that right now. So you're going to need that. Keycaps are optional. Like I said, if you want to use these ones, these are fine. For the gunmetal gray part, we're going to be using the Sanwa Metallic series, the gunmetal gray metallic buttons that came out. I do have a lot of footage recorded. I'm going to be doing a review of these buttons. And the ball top. I have the ball top as well. So those will be after this video. I'm going to try and do them weekly, a week after Evo. So after I come back from Evo, I'll try working on these more often. But those are the parts that we're going to be using. It's always helpful to have a magnetic tray for all your screws so you don't lose them. This one I got off Amazon for like $5, $8 I want to say. I can't remember, it's been a while. It's called Titan. You can just look that up. Next thing is, you're gonna see it, it's from iFixit. This is the kit that I've been using ever since I bought it off Amazon. It's what is this? It's like a 40-piece screw set or whatever, and it has every type of, screw, every type of, what's it called, bit that I can use, or that I'll ever need. And it's magnetic as well, the tray can fit down there, it's pretty nice. This one, you're just going to need a Phillips. You're going to need a big Phillips bit, and that'll take the back off. You don't need to take the plexi off. We're not replacing the artwork, so these can stay where they're at. And then last, just because I've cleaned my keyboard out in the past, I went and grabbed myself a, I've had this for a long time. I've cleaned my keyboard a couple of times. They're made by Waz. They're just key pullers, so they're just going to slip in like that, and you just pull up, they're going to come off just like that. So what I'm going to do is, you already saw how to do that. I'm going to pull all these off, and I'm going to take the back out, and then we're going to just jump cut to that, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do when it comes to replacing these and the buttons, just because, it's nice to go over them, every so often. Alright, and we're mostly back. So, one other required tool, or actually not a required tool, I was going to say that, is don't be like me and stupidly yank these out. If your Mixbox is like mine, then you have these it's hard to show on here without zooming in. I'll probably take a shot afterwards, but these are the quick release, or the easy release, whatever you want to call it, quick disconnects. Most sticks use a disconnect, you can just kind of, maybe you have to pull a little hard, but you can pull them off. These ones don't move, and I did this with my Mad Catz arcade stick, with my TE2, and they have this little tab that locks them onto these. It makes them more secure than normal ones. And I kind of hate them for it because you can never really see these unless you look, and you can ruin these tabs and it makes these loose. But you basically have to push down on this little tab that's in between where the ground, where they go into the connects. So since you can see that, there's a little tab right in here that you push down, and if I can see, push it down, wiggle it a bit, and then it comes out. It's about as fast as getting a normal disconnect to come off, but just so you guys can see how to disconnect buttons from this stick without, you know, messing it up, because you can potentially mess these quick disconnects up, or if you want to keep the buttons, you can end up ripping the bottom of the buttons off. I've seen buttons fall apart. I haven't had it happen to me, but I did see it happen to some people. There's a video of a guy modding his TE2 Plus, which I have down there. You can't see it, but he was changing the buttons out, and he did kind of destroy the button, or at least one of the buttons. I think the whole thing came out. So don't do that. Get the metal. Get something small like this, and take it out the easy way. Don't overcomplicate it like I did. I'm just used to it because of the way that I have generally removed stuff like removed the quick disconnects. So get you back into focus. Anyway, what we're gonna do now, since we got all these disconnected, is the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the buttons out. This is gonna be the easiest mod to do. So all you gotta do is just push on these tabs, and they should come out like that. If they don't, you can carefully, like this one, I'm having a little hard time squeezing my fat thumb in there. If you want, you can take a little screwdriver, push down, and it'll pop out like that. Don't push too hard, otherwise you might break the tabs, or you can destroy the button or the plexi. You know, I've destroyed a lot of the transparent Sanwas like that. The one tab will break, or both tabs will break, and essentially the button will stay in there, but it ends up being super loose. And like this one is being a little bit of an annoyance. There we go. Yeah, they kind of just, those ones break. I feel that these ones might too, the transparent buttons, or these gunmetal ones, because the silver ones and the gold ones that I've had have broken on me, the tabs. And it's like some weak plastic or something that they use, or something for the tabs, because it's very rare to have that happen on the solid plungers. So I don't get why the transparent ones break so easy. But my first set of Sanwas I ever bought were transparent blue ones, and oh boy, if you want to take them out, that's something else. Sometimes they even break. I've had them even break when you get them in. So yeah, definitely be careful with that if you decide to go transparent. So there we go, we got all those out. Plexi's alright, and we're gonna take these, and like everything I do, I'm just gonna throw them on the floor because I don't got any space on this table mate for anything. So next is we're just gonna, this is the easy part, I'm just gonna zoom in, I'm just gonna speed up this process. Alright, now that we got that looking all nice, I'm gonna go back here, and we're gonna position these better. So you can just grab them by the stem, by the micro switch or whatever, and you can just move them around like that. And of course, all the buttons got moved, all the wires got moved around. There we go. So you just put them back however you want. It doesn't matter too much. So you just put them back. Just make sure the black and the red, doesn't matter what side they go on, they just have to go on them. Alright, so I went and found, I had to dig these out of the garage, but I found a pair of these clippers. So I'm just gonna do them just like that. Alright, so now that we have those taken off, throw that wherever, pick it up later after Evo. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take them one at a time. Oh, there's a second one up here. Let me get this one off. Like trying to do this in a way that I don't accidentally cut one of the wires. Alright, now that we got those taken care of, the one thing about this, it just makes it easy, is I discovered it, is that with this, is that since these are just plugged into the PCB, should just be able to pull it out. If I can, there we go. And we'll just do it one at a time like this. You can take a picture and remember where everything's at, but these should just push off. Hopefully I don't frickin' fucking break the wire, but should just be able to wiggle and pull them out just like that. Alright, now here comes a little bit, keep it this way, here comes a little bit of the fun part. They seem to be soldered on alright. Alright, so here comes a bit of the fun part. What you're gonna do is, I'm gonna zoom in again. What we're gonna be doing here is, you know what, let me get this in focus. Alright, so if you can see, it's got these little tab things here. What you're gonna do is we're gonna be just kind of pulling them up like that. We're just gonna be pulling the tops off, basically. So how we're gonna do this is just don't want the I'm moving the mic, so if there's noise, my bad. Don't want to break the wires, but what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be first is leave. How is it done? How's it done easy? I think we just take one side off. I believe they make a tool for this. I'm just gonna move this down back here. Focus that. Move it down here so I'm not like in an awkward position. It is kind of a pain to get these tabs. Holy crap. If you don't really care about the tops, I'm sure that we could just break them off, right? Oh, there we go. Push them up like that. Then get the other side. So they're gonna come off like that, right? So as you can see, the top half is coming off. We're just gonna do that again. And it's gonna fly out like that. Don't let it do that if you want to keep the tops. But basically what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be putting there's a spring and then there's a switch and then the top, and that basically causes this metal part here to make contact. And I'm going to do it a little bit more cleaner on this razor switch, just so, you know, all this stuff doesn't fly out at us. But this one should be easier because I don't have the wire to deal with. Okay. This one should just come out. There we go. See, and they're basically the same thing, so what we're gonna do is keep that there. We're gonna put the spring in like that. Then we're gonna take, see what the spring does is like it pushes down, and this gets pushed down and it causes like something to push metal against metal, all this crap that lets you that lets you just do that. Basically it activates the switch. So this should be completely changed out now, so all we're gonna do is we're just going to feed it in again the same way that it came out. And lucky for us, seems like I didn't break the switches. I was so scared of doing this because I haven't done this before, and I was scared that I was gonna break something, that I was gonna break the solder points. I'm like, ah shit, now I gotta bring out the actual soldering gun and do some solder work, something that I really didn't want to do when changing the buttons out on this thing. So luckily for us, I don't have to do that. So we're just gonna push this back into where it came out. Get that back in there, and then we're just gonna do the same thing for the last 3 switches, and then I'm just gonna test it out really quick, and that'll be the end of the video. So let me just cut to whatever point in the video it's gonna be where I have all of this replaced, and maybe I might even show another shot like really quick of how I changed out the part like really up close, because that one was a little bit further back, I think. But I'll show you guys in a more closerest up shot how to do that. So see you when I transition. And there you have it. That's some combo ideas and stuff. Probably not completely fleshed out, but I haven't played the game in a while. So, anyway, works fine. They're still noisy, but they don't sound nearly as bad as the Reds did. And you know what? I actually like the Razor switches. I might try this out with the brown switches later, which I have here. Just see what the browns are like. But, so far, from what I can tell, you know, everything's fine. And, yeah, hopefully this helps you if you have a Mixbox. Now you know how to switch it out without having to solder. Of course, if you want to keep the original parts, you know, you can just, if you know how to solder, solder it. It's not too difficult of a process. But, yeah, that's it. I'll probably get some new artwork for this later and mess around with it a little bit more. But, anyway, been Dan. This is HurtboxTV. And try and put out more videos in the future. Bye-bye.